What's up? Brandon Lilly here. So I saw the comments below, and like I said, I promised that if you guys were interested in this kind of stuff, I would post and talk about it. I was in San Diego all weekend for the U.S. Open put on down at California Elite. It was an awesome event, very well run, and I'm going to talk more about that after this is done. But what you're seeing here, I was training at Rise Above Fitness in Huntington Beach. I've had a good relationship with Rise Above for a long time. Brandon and I get along very, very well. We have similar goals, similar views as far as working with people in the industry. So I always enjoy getting out here and working with them. So for my training right now, I am not doing any of the power lifts. I'm not doing anything heavy at all at the moment. My number one focus is getting my conditioning up, getting my body weight down, improving mobility, flexibility, and getting myself really set up to a point where when I hit my goal weight, I'm going to build myself back up with the power lifts. My body weight as well as my strength will climb, and then I'm going to be more competitive, hopefully setting a new standard of strength for myself at a lower body weight. I truly believe in this plan. I'm enjoying the training that I'm doing, and I'm having a lot of fun with it. So this is one big circuit, or a round of a circuit that I've been doing at home. When I have more time, I will do this 3 to 4 times, but it's working really well for me. My heart rate keeps getting better. My blood pressure keeps getting better, and I'm just having fun training. Like, I can't tell you how long it's been since I've absolutely had no plan as far as what I'm going to do day to day. I just go in the gym, whatever feels good, I do. I don't put any pressure on myself, but I know that in the coming months, I have a big plan for myself, and I'm also going to talk about that here.
Yeah, I feel that. I coach that, but I have never felt it like that, you know?
Let me know if you get any nerve issues or anything.
To 259 pounds.
What's up? Brandon Lilly here. So just now back in the bluegrass state of Kentucky. Been thinking a lot about the U.S. Open, what I saw, what I liked, some things that I'm going to offer, a little bit to do a little bit different. But here's the thing. I want to start with this. This is an event where it pulled together some of the biggest names in powerlifting. Now, from the aspect of a promoter, people were talking about online, and I'm gonna get onto the online stuff here in a second. From a promoter standpoint, Gracie and her business partner at California Elite did exactly what they set out to do and promised to do. They promised a high quality venue, high quality standards of judging, high quality payout, high quality everything, and they delivered 100%. I've been to Capo down in Tasmania. I've been to the Pro Raw events held over in Melbourne. I've seen some really big events in England. I've been to some of the biggest events in the United States, and I'm not going to say one was better than the other, because everybody does an excellent job and everybody does the best of their ability. But there was literally 1 or 2 things that I could say needed improvement upon. Not that they needed to be changed, but just improvement upon, and they're ridiculously small. One, the projector that was on the stage from the audience, it was a little bit light. It was in a reflective point from the sun that was coming in the sides. It made it difficult to see at times. It was loud in there, people cheering, the announcer going, the music going. So I'm a person who likes to follow that and, stay in tune with what's actually happening at the meet. That wasn't the best that it could have been. It was there, it was available to see, but you had to get closer to the stage for it to be more clear. But from where I was sitting, which was kind of off into the side, it was a little bit dull. The other thing was, I'm going to suggest that in a big money meet situation like this, where we're running off of a Wilks, that somewhere along the way there's a display of a running total of who's in first, who's in second, who's in third, and maybe even have, the discrepancy of poundages or whatever it might be. So, for the casual fan or person in the audience, the meet takes on a little more meaning, because a lot of people don't understand what's going on other than, oh, that's my son or that's my friend or whatever up there lifting. So, but again, that's really it. I didn't see anything else that I would change. I thought the judging was spot on. The internet says the judging was strict. Listen, the judging you saw at this competition was the way judging should be done. I'm telling you right now that there are a lot of lifters that, had they been there, would have been exposed by the judging quality that was there. A lot of lifters who are 50-50 on the border of being high or low would have gotten red lights. That's just the way it should be. And then we have gotten so accustomed in this sport to not seeing people miss lifts or not seeing people challenge themselves to 100% maximum. I think every single weight class was competitive, and the final, the money payout came down to the final deadlifts on both days, men and women. We saw 4 women break a 600 Wilks. That's unbelievable and phenomenal. And people are saying, oh, well, these guys got hurt and they bombed out and so many lifters didn't show up. As a promoter, all you can do is put the event on, have the stuff there, and if people pull out, you can't control that. If somebody pulls out, they walked away from a shot at 40 grand. I mean, that's just the truth of the matter. I'm not talking shit on those people, because things happen. People get hurt, people get sick, people have families. There are some great lifters that were not there. But here's the thing, you cannot accommodate everyone. And if $40,000 on the line doesn't mean enough to you to get there, then that's okay. It just doesn't mean enough for you to get there. But don't down-regulate or downplay the importance of what happened over the weekend. You had a showcase event that promised big money, and I have yet to hear any controversy about the judging. Not one. And that is something that plagues our sport, is that the judging is too lax, or there's high squats passed or whatever. People were saying it's too strict. So be it. The judging was spectacular. Now, here's the other thing that I want to say. The event charged $10 for a live stream. Do you know that with every other sport, the ticket prices, you have 70,000 people in the audience for, a football game, 25 to 30 in the audience for an NBA game, 20 to 40,000 for a baseball game, all paying, a pretty good price for their ticket. That's how they pay the athletes. Well, they charge an admission. The admission at this place, it was 300 people or something like that, 400 people, and it was packed. It was absolutely packed. But here's the thing. They can only charge so much at the door. And powerlifting has a growing fan base. And a way to help recoup some of this money that was being put into the event, and I mean, I don't know the exact number on the event, but I mean, if you saw it, you would realize that it was top notch. I think $10 as a true fan of the sport and as a true fan of furthering the sport is a small price to pay to support something that you love, especially when I see these motherfuckers that get on here and bitch about it, wearing 25 different shirts from 25 different companies, with like little motivational slings and quotes on there, and they've got personalized belts and they've got personalized shoes and custom singlets and this, that, and the other, because that makes it all about you. It's all about you. You have the shirt, you have the singlet, you have this, and you look good on Instagram, and you look good when you compete, blah, 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 blah. But when it's for the good of the sport, you fucking spit on it. $10 is nothing to support this sport. You should be ashamed if you were, the live stream, whatever. I heard that it had glitches. I heard that it paused. I understand your concern. I've even heard that Gracie would even go so far as to refund the money. I don't know if that's fact. She posted something about it on there. Maybe she's going to offer you a free voucher for next year. But here's the thing. It's $10 to support the sport you are a part of. I'm sick and tired of seeing people who lay the groundwork and do good things in this sport, try to help it grow, try to help it have some stability and something that you can be proud of as a lifter when you win an event, and then people at home shit on it. It's the same people. The same people that complain and bitch and bitch and bitch and bitch never do anything but complain and bitch and bitch and bitch and bitch. If you could rag on this event, you're better than me, because I couldn't pick anything apart, and I've been to some of the best meets in the world. Now that's not me jock riding anybody, that's just me being honest. I would say that the best events I've ever been to, you know, you're going to have Boss of Bosses, Tattooed and Strong, Capo, the GPA Worlds that Wayne Hallett did, and then the Pro Raw events that Marcos and Emad do. And in this event, like I said, I mean, all of these events that are top tier are top tier for a reason. These people, I guarantee you, if you talk to Marcos, if you talk to Wayne, if you talk to Dan and Sparkle, if you talk to Gracie, they're not making money on this. They are doing this for you assholes at home to have an opportunity to go to a competition and have something to be proud of. And not even just that, there are little guys that you never even hear of that are putting on meets week in and weekend out, busting their ass, taking money out of their pockets, and you're bitching over $10. Do something for the sport or shut your damn mouth. You know what I mean? Like, I get irritated beyond any level with that stuff. It just blows my mind, the negativity that people have around in this sport. Now that's over. Awesome event. Congratulations to the winners. I mean, they've already said that there was going to be another one next year. That was one of my concerns going into the event, that it wasn't sustainable. You know what? I think it's a win all the way around. Now, Kabuki Strength and Movement Systems. I had a good chance to sit down with Chris Duffin and his team this weekend, and we talked a lot about my knee, about my recovery, about athletes that I coach, about what this sport is lacking. And I can tell you, for one, this all started when I began working with Ingrid Markham in my movement. You know, I don't remember where I saw it, but it was a truly kind of eye-opening statement for me. Was, you know, when you have a gun, when you're shooting a long-range rifle, you can do a lot of things just on talent with that gun. But as you buy a scope, you're able to see your target much clearer, and then you get a better scope, and you get a better scope, and your aim becomes more and more precise. That is exactly what movement systems have become or are about. I can get under a squat bar and I can go from the top to the bottom. That doesn't mean that it's the most efficient way to do that. That doesn't mean I'm in a precision plane. Now, I can do some things to improve hip mobility. I can do some things to improve my knee mobility. And that still doesn't ensure. The body is a universal thing from top to bottom. I am personally right now going through the understanding and exercise of strengthening my feet. After my surgeries, I started tiptoeing because of the shortness of the tendons. I started rolling onto the outside of my foot. So I've done a lot of damage to my feet, and they get sore very quickly. And as I've lost weight and as I've improved my movement, I've noticed that my arches have started to pick back up again. My toes don't get cramps like they used to, and I'm actually able to feel the floor much better when I squat and when I deadlift. So that's just my feet. Chris was talking to me about a lot of things, and he had his people put their hands on me and work my knee and work my calves and my Achilles. And truth be told, I am just extremely bound up, not only from my surgeries, which they accelerated a lot of this, but from years and years and years of being one-dimensional. Like I've said for so long, I am good at getting strong. I am really good at getting strong and helping others get strong. But that's just one facet. It doesn't matter how strong you are if you can't get out of the gate. And going back to the gun reference, it doesn't matter if I have a 50 caliber shell. If I don't have a 50 caliber gun to put that shell in, it doesn't matter how powerful that ammunition is. It doesn't work. And that's exactly what I became, was a high caliber athlete that couldn't function properly. You know, I wasn't able to walk properly. I wasn't able to breathe properly. And I know it all sounds a little bit like, oh, you're doing the supple leopard. You're going to be like, you know, soft. fuck all that noise, honest to goodness. I mean, truth be told, what are you afraid of for being moved? What is weak about being able to move your own body? You know, what is it about, what are you afraid of for taking 10, 15, maybe even a half an hour per day to ensure not only, I mean, you train so hard, you put chemicals in your body, you diet, you sacrifice, and then you don't even ensure that you can do the movements. I mean, I'm looking at myself and I'm so angry that I allowed myself to train this long with so little appreciation for how the body moves. Like, I can tell you how to squat, I can tell you how to bench, I can tell you how to deadlift, but I'm not doing things outside those movements to enhance those movements. And, you know, it's just been kind of a blow your hair back moment sitting and talking with someone like Chris, who has such a deep understanding of the human body. You know, I'm just kind of like, I don't know how to say more than what I'm saying right now, but I am at the base of the mountain and I am so heavily invested in learning so that I can apply it to myself and then apply it forward to others, because it's life-changing. Ingrid, I've been working with her for about 4 months now, and I look at my deadlift from Tattooed and Strong. Yes, I lost some body weight, but the ability after all these surgeries to get myself into a good position to be able to pull better than I've ever pulled, just because I've worked on hip mobility, moving and setting the hips. My pelvis is no longer anteriorly rotated, and I'm just really thankful that people are willing to share this information with me, and hopes that I can pass that on. So I'm going to be doing a lot more talking about that. You saw some of the stuff that we were doing there earlier in that little clip, but I've talked to Chris. I am going to invest in some of his materials to aid myself in the recovery. I'm going to continue to be working with Ingrid, and this is just one more area that I'm trying to become, I won't even say an expert at, but well-read. You know what I mean? These people are doing phenomenal things with movement, and I'm just really excited about it. So the US Open was awesome. Check out Kabuki Strength Systems. They're pretty phenomenal. They have a lot of information out there. Actually, as much as anybody as I've ever seen. Ever since I talked to Chris, I've been trying to read back through a lot of his articles, and it's just like, it's all been sitting there, you know, and I've neglected it for years. So anyway, thank you guys, and I'm going to get back to the gym. I'm going to have a good training session tonight. As you saw earlier in the video, my training has been light and circuit style training. I'm doing all that stuff, but I'm also still lifting the power lifts, just not to a point of heavy. You know, I'm not trying to get to a point where I get heavy enough with a weight that I start to think, oh my gosh, that doesn't feel right, I'm not strong, and then undo all the good that I've done right now. Like I said, I have other goals of getting my body weight down a little bit more, and then slowly building my way back up, and then start working with some heavier and heavier weights. It's kind of the long way back around, but it makes sense to me. I believe in what I'm doing, and I've got people that are, you know, kind of analyzing and reporting back, working along with me on what my goals are. So thank you guys for watching. I'll talk to you tomorrow.